Beneath the Iranian desert, a water system hand-dug 2,700 years ago still delivers fresh water to 40,000 people. No electricity, no pumps. A main well 360 meters deep, powered by nothing but gravity. It may be the most resilient piece of infrastructure ever built. Then, in the 1970s, development banks paid to replace it with electric pumps now draining the Middle East dry. Across deserts, mountains, and continents, an underground network stretches farther than most people can imagine. Over 20,000 Qanats are still active worldwide, their tunnels hidden beneath the dust of ancient Persia, the oases of North Africa, and the Silk Road towns of Central Asia. Iran alone holds more of these systems than the rest of the world combined. The scale is staggering. No other water technology from antiquity survives on this level, let alone continues to serve millions. The numbers defy belief. The Zarq Qanat in Iran runs for 71 kilometers underground, dug entirely by hand. 2,115 vertical shafts punctuate its course, each one a silent witness to generations of labor. No pumps, no wires, just gravity and stone. Zarq is not an outlier. From the Moroccan Qattara to the Chinese Kharez, the blueprint repeats, adapted and adopted along the entire breadth of the Old World arid belt. UNESCO's World Heritage listing calls this the foundation of a Qanat civilization, a term that hints at the true reach of this technology. Qanats made settlement possible in places that would otherwise have been uninhabitable. The pattern is visible from space. Parallel lines of circular craters snake across the Iranian plateau, each marking a vertical shaft sunk by hand every 20 or 30 meters. These are not relics. Most are still in use, channeling water to fields, orchards, and entire cities. In Yazd, in Kerman, in the shadow of the Alborz and the Zagros, communities still depend on flows first tapped centuries or even millennia ago. The design is so robust that the same principles, gentle slope, constant gradient, minimal intervention, appear wherever the technology spread. From Spain's Galeria de la Mina to the Caras of Turpan in western China, the same underground rivers run beneath vastly different landscapes, all powered by nothing but gravity. The numbers alone demand an explanation. How did a hand-dug tunnel, devised in the Age of Empires, outlast every modern upgrade? Why did entire regions abandon a system that never needed fuel, never broke down, and never ran dry, only to face water shortages and aquifer collapse within a single generation of switching to pumps? The world's oldest water network is still flowing. Its disappearance is not an accident. Someone, somewhere, decided to bury the blueprint. A Qanat is not just a tunnel, it is a calculation carved in stone, measured to the millimeter, and enforced by the laws of physics. Every drop that emerges at the surface is the result of a precise gradient, set between half a meter and 1 meter of fall per kilometer. Too steep, and the water rips the tunnel apart. Too shallow, and the flow stalls leave size, leaving nothing but stagnation and collapse. Persian mechanists, the master diggers, calculated these slopes by eye with nothing but plumb lines, water bowls, and a lifetime of apprenticeship. Their accuracy still stuns engineers today. The vertical shafts, spaced every 20 to 30 meters, form a lattice that looks random from the ground but reveals a perfect geometry from above. Each shaft is a lifeline. It ventilates the tunnel, lets workers clear debris, and provides emergency access when the mountain shifts. Some plunge 30 meters deep, others just a few paces, but all are cut by hand through rock and clay. The deeper the aquifer, the more dangerous the work. In Gonabad, the mother well reaches 360 meters, a vertical descent longer than the Eiffel Tower is tall. No pumps, no engines, just gravity, stone, and sweat. This underground route shields water from the desert sun. Evaporation is almost zero. In open canals, half the supply can vanish before reaching a single field. Here, the water arrives cool and clean, untouched by surface contamination. Even earthquakes cannot break the system. In 2003, when the city of Bam was leveled by a magnitude 6.6 quake, the ancient Qanat beneath it survived. Its tunnels flexed and held, still delivering water to the ruins above. Qanats do more than irrigate fields. Their cool air was once channeled into underground summer rooms called Shabastan, dropping the temperature by 10 degrees or more. In a world without air conditioning, the Qanat doubled as a climate shield, a passive technology that modern cities still struggle to match. None of this could function without the Qanats. These craftsmen are more than engineers. They are water judges, guardians, and when needed, emergency surgeons for the aquifer. They set the flow shares, settle disputes, and organize the annual cleaning that keeps the lifeline open. The entire system rests on their knowledge, passed down for generations, never written, always memorized. The result is a water network that runs for thousands of kilometers, never using a single watt of electricity and never running dry unless someone breaks the rules of its design. Modern pumps ignore every one of these principles. The consequences are written in the empty wells and collapsing fields that follow. In the 1960s, a new kind of promise swept across the Middle East. Development banks and foreign advisors arrived with blueprints and loan contracts, pushing a single message: modernize, mechanize, multiply yields. The old gravity-fed Qanats, silent, communal, self-sustaining, were written off as relics. Instead, electric pumps and deep wells became the new standard, funded by millions in international loans. The World Bank, USAID, and their partners backed these projects, pouring money into diesel engines, concrete pipes, and drilling rigs. The numbers were staggering. By the 1970s, the global market for water pumps and irrigation hardware soared past $40 billion. None of this money went toward maintaining the Qanats. Not a single loan document required it. This was not a mistake. The new system made water a commodity, not a birthright. Ownership shifted from villages to private landholders and development authorities. The communal water judges, Qanats, lost their authority. In place of a network that had survived for millennia, the region inherited a patchwork of short-lived, high-maintenance pumps, each one drawing more water than the aquifer could replace. Golamreza Nabipur, a Qanat caretaker whose family had tended the tunnels for generations, saw the change firsthand. He said that the Qanats had been the source of life for him and all of his ancestors, and that it was his duty to preserve them until the last second of his life. But the tide was against him. As the loans rolled in, the old rules broke down. The result was thousands of Qanats abandoned, communal management shattered, and a water system that had never failed deliberately pushed aside for profit. Municipal wells run dry. Fields once green with Qanat water turned to dust. In cities that traded gravity-fed tunnels for electric pumps, the warning signs arrived fast and without mercy. Hydrographs from central Iran show groundwater levels plunging meter by meter each year after the 1970s, where once the water table barely shifted in decades. In Gonabad, the ancient mother well still flows, but surrounding towns now ration water for days at a time. The numbers are blunt. Iran's Ministry of Energy reports that aquifers on the plateau have dropped by as much as 12 meters since the pump boom began. In places where Qanats were abandoned, the loss is even starker. A system designed to withdraw only the natural overflow has been replaced by machines that pull water faster than the earth can replenish it. The result is collapse, subsiding land, salt intrusion, and wells that cough up nothing but air. The crisis is no longer hidden. In 2016, UNESCO added the Persian Qanat to its World Heritage List, calling it the backbone of a Qanat civilization, a civilization now watching its own lifeline vanish. The listing is both a tribute and an indictment. It recognizes the brilliance of a technology that could have sustained millions indefinitely, while acknowledging the disaster that followed its neglect. Official reports now admit what was once denied. Replacing communal gravity-powered networks with private pump-driven extraction set off a chain reaction that emptied aquifers and shattered rural economies. The world's oldest water system still runs, but the price of ignoring its lessons is written in every dried-up well and every empty reservoir across the region. A 2,700-year-old network, 20,000 systems strong, still moves water uphill without a single watt. Yet electric pumps now drain aquifers until they collapse. The Gonabad Qanat quietly sustains 40,000 lives and reaches 360 meters deep. The crime is not forgetting ancient genius, it is repeating the mistake. What will we choose next?